Good evening, and welcome to this brief Grid North report on Mozambique, where we take a look at the latest developments where the nation recently held its general elections, but the results have been overshadowed by allegations of fraud, procedural breaches, and tensions across the country. Mozambique's general elections have been controversial, to say the least. The ruling Frelimo party, in power since 1975, is facing serious allegations of electoral manipulation. Independent candidate Venancio Mondlane declared himself the winner, claiming 65% of the vote based on parallel counts. Meanwhile, Daniel Chapo, Frelimo's presidential candidate, is seen as the front-runner according to official tallies. However, these results are being questioned. Observers have reported multiple irregularities, including missing ballot papers, late openings of polling stations, and widespread voter manipulation. In Zambezia's Gile district alone, 51 polling stations lacked voting materials, and efforts to redistribute resources were opposed by the Renamo party, who warned of potential fraud. The Electoral Commission has acknowledged issues, including arrests and logistical delays, while the EU Election Observation Mission pointed to flaws in voter registration and public mistrust. Systematic power outages during vote counting have further fueled suspicions of manipulation. Voter turnout was notably low, with only 25% participation in Zambezia and 30% in Nampula and in Hanbane provinces. The elections have not been without violence. In Moatize, Tete province, public demonstrations over suspected fraud turned violent, with police using tear gas and live ammunition to disperse crowds. In Mozambique, in Hanbane, police clashed with opposition supporters after electoral administration staff were accused of bias. Beyond election-related violence, Mozambique continues to face serious security threats, including kidnapping. Businessman Sunil Ratilal was abducted in Maputo, but was swiftly rescued by police in a rare rapid response operation. This marks the latest in a series of kidnappings targeting business figures, with over 150 such incidents reported in the past decade. With regards to social developments, where the reality of Mozambique's poverty crisis was tragically highlighted in Tete province. A woman, desperate and unemployed, was arrested for attempting to sell her two children to fund a business. This case sheds light on the dire circumstances facing many Mozambicans, especially as economic conditions continue to deteriorate. Human trafficking remains a critical issue, with at least 38 cases reported last year alone, many involving victims trafficked to South Africa. As poverty deepens, so do social vulnerabilities, calling for urgent action from both government and NGOs to provide relief and support for affected populations. In summary, Mozambique's political and social landscape is fraught with challenges. Widespread reports of electoral fraud and manipulation have led to growing distrust in the democratic process. Security forces are stretched thin as violence escalates, and the social fabric continues to weaken under the strain of economic hardship and inequality. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the country's direction, especially as official results are still pending and potential protests loom.